Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Fiverr Talks, everybody, where we help you become the best possible Fiverr seller you can be. Today, we're asking the question, what happens when your business grows beyond your own personal ability, beyond what you can handle alone? How do you know when it's time to hire other people? Should you ever hire other people to help you? We're going to ask and answer all those questions today, so make sure you stick around. That's right, and as always, my name is Joel, user DJ Young on Fiverr. Thanks for joining me here. I've been a seller on Fiverr since 2013, and each and every week I make videos like this to help you become the best Fiverr seller you can be. So if you want to show your support and encouragement for the channel, give this video a like and leave me a comment down below. Alright, well, my main goal for this video is to help those of you that are looking forward to, in the future, whether it be the distant future or the near future, adding someone to your team, helping you understand the benefits, the pros and the cons of that, and helping you understand when the time could be right. But before we get into that, I feel like we need to get a bit more philosophical. We need to ask ourselves the hard questions and say, who am I? What do I want to be in this world? You know, all that stuff. Asking yourself as a business owner, do you want to do this on your own forever? Or do you want a team one day to support and work around you? Do you want to be responsible for other people? Or would you rather simply find the greatest success you can on your own and find that to be enough? I'm not here in this video to tell you that one is better than the other, one is right and one is wrong. I'm here to tell you that you need to make that decision, not forever, but maybe for the next 5 years of your career, and decide this is the direction I want to run in. Because as you're building your Fiverr business, you need to keep that goal in mind as you move forward. Now, as I've been self-employed for the last 15 years or so, about half of my time was all on my own by myself, and the other half of the time has been as a business leader with multiple team members. And I can certainly tell you that from the get-go, my goal was to stay on my own. I didn't want a team because I knew managing people was difficult. I had managed people in my other life, my former job, and I found it difficult and frustrating. I thought if I was the only one I had to worry about, then my days would be better. But the truth was, eventually I was strangled by the workload, and I had a greater ambition than what my time could constrain. So when I got to the end of my rope as far as my ability, work continued to come in, and I said, why let this revenue or potential revenue go to waste when I could hire somebody to help me continue to increase the revenue? Their work actually increases at a multiple, and we can keep going together. Just realize that while there's some caps on the ability to earn and caps on time, and certainly some limitations to doing everything yourself, it is the most simple way to run a business, to be a solopreneur, an entrepreneur out there on your own doing everything yourself, because you don't have to get anybody else's permission, you don't have to train anybody else, you don't have to worry about anybody else's actions, you only have to worry about yourself, and therefore it's much quicker and much easier, keeps you more nimble in whatever you're doing, and thus is a very common way for many people to run for many years. Now, the thing you need to realize about teams is that while they can maximize more growth in revenue, they can give you maybe a broader range of skills, people can do things that you're not good at, and you can feed off of each other and be better together. You need to realize that on Fiverr, if anybody else is working in your account on your behalf, they are you when they're on the platform. So anything they do, anything they could possibly do to get you a warning or a strike or possibly break a rule on Fiverr is on you. Fiverr doesn't care if you have a team of people working with you, maybe people answering your messages, things like that. They need to be trained by you, and you need to be able to trust these people, because at the end of the day, that account is you. Any activity in that account is you. Any mistakes made in that account, whether they were personally done by you, will be viewed as you, and Fiverr will treat them as such. So you need to realize that there's a little bit of risk in that, as there is with any part of the business world letting other people in. There's a risk that they may say something you wouldn't say. They may do something differently than you. So you need to make sure that you're ready to take that leap and able to train someone appropriately before they join your team. Now, if you've seriously considered all of that, weighed the pros and cons, looked at it and said, I would like to be a person that has a team, I would like to build that, I would like a business in the future, for many people, that first step is to hire what's known as a virtual assistant. Oftentimes, they're called VAs. And what that means is they're simply assisting you in your work virtually. They're not where you are. Oftentimes, they're in different parts of the country or world, but they're helping you to do your work remotely and virtually. In fact, when I started my own team, this is how I started. I hired hired a virtual assistant to come in and help me answer messages on Fiverr. I thought it would be an easy relief point. I was fielding so many messages every day. I was also doing the creative work, and she could help take some of that burden off of me by communicating with people in a way that I already was. I taught her how to do this. I taught her the rules of Fiverr, and then we just jumped off and started doing our thing. It was a really great partnership. And here's why VAs are such a good option as opposed to hiring an actual person that's physically in a space or trying to pay somebody a salary. The first is that VAs only get paid for the work that they do, meaning that when my VA did work for me, she was sitting at her computer with a time tracker open, designated and categorized for me for my hours, and I only paid for the hours she physically sat there and worked. You know, if somebody's getting paid for a 40-hour-a-week job and they're in an office, they're probably only working 25 to 30 of those 40 hours, right? 10 of those hours are spent at the water cooler, slacking off, surfing social media, doing other things. VAs are very productive and very efficient because you're only paying for the time that they're actually working. Another reason why a VA is a great option for a Fiverr seller that's getting overwhelmed is because they can take over menial, administrative, repetitive tasks that you just can't handle when you're trying to fill all those orders and be creative. You know, one of the things about Fiverr is that if you've been a seller on Fiverr for long, you realize that many of the questions you receive every single day are the same questions over and over and over. It's repetitive. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to answer them. It just takes time to do that. So having someone you can train, give some quick responses to, hand off the menial repetitive tasks to, really will free you up to do more and better creative work, serve your clients even better, and grow your business and revenue. The third great thing about VAs is that they scale. For me, I started out with 15 hours, then I went to 20 and then 25. And the best part is, if I wanted to go beyond 25, say my VA couldn't give me any more hours, I could simply go hire another one. And in a sense, you could hire VAs for up to 60, 70, 80 hours a week, whatever you needed, in multiple different people doing the work together, and it wouldn't cost you any more. They scale. But as I've said, I think it's a great place to start for a Fiverr seller that's a little overwhelmed, that wants to have a team, that wants to grow their revenue and see what could be if they start adding people underneath them and growing their business beyond just their own personal time and bandwidth. All right, so let's just say you do decide you want to have a team, you want to grow something beyond yourself. You're ready to be responsible for other people because you want what that offers. You want what the other side brings to you. You want to take more time off, have less responsibility, and have a team of people working around you. That's great. That's the path that I took. But once you decide that, you need to ask yourself a series of questions to make sure that you, as a business owner and your service, are ready to accept those new team members. The first question you need to ask yourself is there enough growth potential with my service and in my niche? You need to do some hardcore study around your service. Look at other people on Fiverr. Are you the top earner in your field? Is it not likely that you'll earn more? Or are you somewhere in the bottom or middle of the pack, realizing that, hey, you know, there's a guy earning this much per year and it's 2 to 3 times more what I'm earning. If I change a few things, get a few things right that I'm not doing right now, have more time to serve customers, all these things, I could grow my service to that. Is there growth potential there? Do you see your service becoming more popular or less popular in the future? Look at the trends. Look at what your sales have done over the last 12 to 18 months. You know, are you on a huge spike where things just seem to keep going up, or are you tailing off and going a little bit down? Does it seem that popularity of your service is waning? And ask yourself, as an entrepreneur, do I have the mental capacity and ability to pivot, look ahead, try new things to continue the growth of this business? Because you may just be offering a service when it's you, but when you hire a VA, when you hire a team member, you're now a small business. There's 2 of you, 2 mouths to feed. And there's a lot of innovation, a lot of change, and a lot of decisions that need to be made every couple years to pivot and make sure you continue to grow. So ask yourself, first and foremost, is the growth potential there? Secondly, you should ask yourself, is there enough margin in my current rates? Look at what you're offering. Do you feel like you're running a razor thin margin? Can you raise your prices any? What could you do to make it worth it to your customers to pay a higher price for your current services? Maybe you're just full up with demand. You can't keep up. That's a good reason to raise prices as you're hiring someone. You now have another mouth to feed. You're in demand. So as demand goes up, so should your price. It's supply and demand. But is there there enough margin there? Are you at the tippy top of your price range on Fiverr? Are you in the middle of your price range? Are there other people that are more expensive than you and people that are cheaper than you? Are you all the way at the bottom? Most of the time, good quality sellers probably need to raise their prices because people will pay more for quality. So you need to know, is there enough margin in your rates currently to go up a little bit and thus make a little more, so that you not only will hopefully sell more and make more revenue, but just by selling what you have been selling, you can increase your revenue because there's demand and there's a high quality service in play. And the third and final question I'd tell you to ask before hiring any team members is ask yourself, will this team member create enough value? Now, there is one side to hiring another team member that is glorious and you can't quantify, and that is that this person will take something off your plate, give you a more relaxed lifestyle, and that's certainly some sort of value. You can't put a monetary number on that, but certainly the ability to maybe not answer messages on weekends, let them do it, stop at a decent hour in the evenings, not worry about those response times. That's something you can't put a monetary value on, but it does create some sort of value for you and your life. But on the other side, you need to make sure you can quantify the created value of this hire. Are you simply going to hire someone and they take revenue out without adding it? Or will adding this person allow you to do more of X, more of Y, more of Z, so that revenue goes from where it is today to 15% higher next year? You need to be able to clearly look ahead and find the created value for this team member before you add them, so that they're not simply a line item expense for you, but rather they're somebody who's adding value. And if they cost you $10,000 to $15,000 a year, they make you $20,000 to $30,000 a year. Their presence creates value. That's the kind of hire you want to make. That's the kind of team member you want to have, because the more of those team members you hire over the years, the greater your revenue will grow. That's the kind of business you want to start out creating from the very beginning. So make sure that you have all of those things lined up, and there will be a created value when you make the hire day one. So there you have it, all you could ever want to know and the questions you need to ask if you want to add a team member to your repertoire, to your Fiverr business. It's something that I've really enjoyed doing, something that I didn't set out to do, but something I've enjoyed doing over the years, as now I have people to encourage and teach and mentor, but are also enhancing my business, my service, and helping me serve more people, because that's really what owning a business is about. Serving more people, doing more good in the world, and the more good you do, the more people you serve, the more money you'll make. It'll just take care of itself. So I hope these were helpful to you. And like I said earlier in the video, if you find them helpful, please support this channel by giving this video a thumbs up and leaving me a comment down below. All right, that's it for today's video. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing that. You could just click this button right up here. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want to join me on Patreon, you'll get exclusive videos on Friday. And if you're looking for the next video to watch, well, I think you should probably try this one. It's pretty good.